Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I have here today a special guest from Cyclebar here located in Meridian, Idaho, Rebecca Bledsoe. She not only crushes it at Cyclebar, she's also a mom, and she also works at the local hospital, and with breast cancer awareness coming up, we'll be doing a lot of mammograms, right?
A lot.
All right. Well, welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I have to let everyone know we are friends.
Yes.
We have been friends for
35 years.
35 years. Oregon. It started in Oregon.
Yes.
And Rebecca and I went to rival high schools, but we had some common friends, I would say, in the mix.
Yes.
And so we kind of kept in touch. And lo and behold, she moved here, got married. You went to Boise State, right?
I did, yes.
Boise State. Met your husband.
Boise State, yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell a story?
Oh, okay. Sounds good. We actually met in eastern Idaho, and he grew up in Nampa, Idaho. Okay. And we got engaged in eastern Idaho. I told him, I'm staying here in eastern Idaho. I'm going to graduate. I'll follow you once you graduate. So he graduated, went to Boise State, and then I followed him there. I went to school at Boise State for radiologic sciences.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got married. I went to school, and then the rest is history. We actually live around the corner from his high school, and then the home that he grew up in.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
8 homes down from where he grew up. I know.
Wow.
He just stayed.
That is so cool. That's so cool. Well, we've been in touch, throughout the years, and then my family and I, we finally moved over here to Idaho.
Finally.
I know, I left Oregon. And so now we're here, but oh my gosh. So I just want to jump into some things with you because let's just talk about Cyclebar and how you got started. And we can talk about the other stuff as well. But really, Cyclebar is an anchor tenant in the village. Yes. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me how this even came about.
Okay.
How did you become an instructor for Cyclebar?
So random. I will preface, in high school, I was not an athlete. You were an athlete, true and true. Greg was an athlete. I did cheer 1 year.
Yes, you were a cheerleader.
Yeah, I think because everyone
Only
had
1
graduated.
year?
Yeah, everyone graduated, and there's so many spots they just had to.
Whatever.
No, I had tried out for several years. And finally, my senior year, they're like, "Oh, just give it to her. I can't do the splits. I can't do anything. I can't tumble. I get vertigo. It's a mess." So they finally let me on. What started Cyclebar? Well, my husband was on the semi-pro circuit for cycling here locally. Okay. So when I have 2 teenage boys, and when they were toddlers, we would just follow my husband around to all of his circuits. So much spandex, so much speed. And I didn't even own a bike at the time. And some people had asked, "Are you ever interested in cycling?" No, there's no way in heck you're going to find me in spandex with a helmet. No, I'm not going to do that. But we just supported him and loved watching him. And I thought it was a wonderful experience for our toddlers to see my husband working hard and accomplishing goals and creating a healthy lifestyle for him.
Sure.
So life goes on. I have a friend who enjoyed cycling at a local rec center, and she asked if I wanted to go, and just to be a nice friend, I said I would go. I think my first class was like $10 or something. Sat in the very, very back. It was a Thursday night or Friday. I think it was a Friday. Went at 9:45 in the morning, and I got home, and I've never been addicted to anything. I've never been addicted to drinking or smoking or drugs. I had this immediate addiction.
Really?
Yes. I remember Marco Poloing Abby, Abby and Chelsea and our high school friends, and I let them know I'm a pro cyclist. I was bit by something. I was so addicted. It was a Friday, and they had said, we're going to give you 48 hours. We have this special going on. Give us a call in the next 48 hours if you're interested in jumping onto this special, and we'll get you signed up. And seriously, for the whole weekend, I thought, how am I going to fit this into my schedule around the hospital, around my boys who were in grade school and middle school at the time? How am I going to fit this around our family? Because immediately I felt like it was something I needed in my life. Like a drug. I just needed it. So that next Monday I walked in, and Angelique, who now is an instructor there, she was working at the desk, and I walked right in. I'm like, give me like an unlimited membership. I need this.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was January. So I've been writing for 5 years. So whatever year that was.
Okay.
January of that year. And I got signed up and started riding probably 3 times a week, and just moved from the back row to the middle row to the front row. And the front row, if you ride in the front row, it's like concert level. Like
What?
you just feel, you just see the instructor, you feel all the feels. You might get sweat on, it's a thing. And by March, so 2 months later, I went into my doctor's annual exam, and they checked my blood pressure. They were like, are you on any new medication, like blood pressure medication? I'm like, no, you would have been the one to give it to me. And they said, something is different. What have you done? And I said, well, I started cycling 2 months ago. They're like, your resting heart rate has significantly decreased, which was crazy, because on the outside I was feeling great, but going like 3 to 4 times a week, I was changing on the inside and not even knowing it until 2 months later I went to the doctor. And then I continued to go because I had a big high school reunion that you bailed on.
Not me.
And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be here, which is so vain, but I'm going to feel and look my best. So why not continue to go? And by May, I saw a high school friend that I hadn't seen for a while, and she could tell a difference just in maybe my confidence, or I just was looking different, probably because I was so much more happier.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So really, the 3 to 4 times a week I was going there, for the first part, it was physical, but then eventually it became emotional and mental. My parents were going through a divorce at the time. We had a house fire, and continuing to go on that set schedule really improved everything in my life. It improved my marriage, it improved my family. My boys were finally able to see me accomplish something after I had been supporting them for years with their sporting or music or scholastic events. I was always there, and now they get to see me accomplish something that I had been working so hard for.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's kind of like you fell into this, and it just became you. It became something bigger than just a workout.
It did.
And
yeah. I remember 3 years ago driving past the village with our whole entire family, and my boys said, hey boys, look to your left. And they looked out their left thinking they were going to see like a deer, something. My husband's a hunter. And they're like, there's mom's second home. And it was the village. And I didn't feel the least bit of guilt. I felt proud. Like, yes, that is my second home. And I'm so happy that I get a place to come, that I'm accepted no matter what I look like, how tall I am, my race, gender, whatever. It doesn't matter, that I'm included into this wonderful family that's always there.
So how does someone become an instructor? Like, because you were just going for the workout, then it became a passion and your life, but it just was like your medicine almost.
Yeah.
Like for what you needed at that time.
For sure.
But so how did you go from back row to now leading the class?
I know.
That's wild.
So about twice a year, we hold an open audition.
Yeah, what?
It's called the open audition. Yeah, anyone can go. You don't have to be a writer. In fact, this last open audition, we had 3 people come to audition who had never even been to Cyclebar, but they had taught elsewhere. They had taught like hot yoga or whatever.
Got it.
So we hold an open audition once every 6 to 8 months. And our leaders are always changing, and we're always wanting to bring someone new in to to change the dynamic and maybe to give some relief for those who are pregnant or having a change of life. So my 40th birthday was coming up, and I hadn't set a physical goal since I was in high school to be a cheerleader. I hadn't set a physical goal, and so I thought, why not? Oh, I've ridden here for 3 years. I might as well give it a shot.
Wow.
An instructor had kind of given me a nudge, like, just come to the open audition, just see what it's all about. So me and like 48 other people showed up.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was incredible.
So what's the audition? Like, do they say, okay, here's your playlist? Or like,
no,
how do
you just go and you do a ride. So
Okay.
there's 2 instructors that are team teaching. And we do team teaches all the time, and it's so fun. So you follow 2 instructors, and you just rode. 48 of us just rode. And there's 3 different, we have our lead instructor, our manager, and then sometimes it's our owner. We'll be just walking around the room watching the riders
during
the open audition.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're taking notes. Our lead instructor is, I don't know how she does it. She has like a photographic memory or something. She remembers everything. She'll remember like what someone's wearing and how fast they were going. Anyway, they make very detailed notes, and then over like a 24 to 48 hour process, they will I guess score all the riders, and there was 48 there. And then after that, they have a call back, and you have to teach 3 songs. They tell you kind of, we want a flat road, we want a hill. Maybe I had two songs, 2 or 3 songs, but they tell you either need a hill or you need a flat road. The songs can't be longer than 4 minutes. And the flat road, you're sitting in the saddle. The hill, you're up and out of the saddle. And that's it. They videotape you, and they have the lead instructor, the manager, and maybe another person in there to ride with you. So you're not riding all by yourself. And then it might have changed now, but I think at the time, 3 years ago, they sent it on to corporate, I think. So the higher beings are basically saying like this person is good, or this person maybe needs some more time to practice and come back. So I think there was 8 of us that were chosen out of that 48 that we all passed, and then it was a 6 to 8 week process where we had to ride 4 times in the studio throughout a week. So we got an opportunity to ride with all the instructors, different times, different styles. We have like 8 different formats of classes that you can take. So we got very comfortable with all of that. And then once a week, we met and had 4 hours of instruction. It's called a boot camp.
I'm serious.
Yeah. So I kind of was talking to my sister-in-law about this process, and my sister-in-law has never taken a cycling class before, but she's really into like Broadway. And she said, this process sounds a lot like Broadway's tryouts. Like, whatever. No way. I'm not singing, but I actually do now. Like, if I really get into a song, I'll sing. Anyway, so the boot camp's 8 weeks, and then throughout those 8 weeks, you're teaching to the rest of the people in boot camp. You're learning more, and then week by week, you're like American Idol, like voted
serious.
off.
Whoa.
Yes.
No way.
And it's not just because we don't like the color of your hair, or
I was gonna ask, is
you're
it
not
physical appearance?
No, not at all. And it's not age. I mean, I am the oldest instructor, but there have been older than me, and we definitely have riders of all ages. But it's definitely a thoughtful process of deciding who is going to be an instructor and who doesn't, who's going to work well with the team, who's going to work well with the community, who has a genuine love for Cyclebar, and who can continue that process of inviting others into the studio with compassion and love. And anyway, so after all that, me and one other were the only two that were chosen.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
actually, like 3 months later, then another one of our cohorts were brought in. So yeah, it's quite
Were
a
you just
process.
were you just surprised at every turn?
Yes.
Like, what is going on?
Yes.
I bet.
Oh, there were so many tears.
Oh my
You
word.
just get so invested. And throughout that process, you just either know that you want it or not. And at that process, I just wanted it. I wanted it so bad. So bad. I just remember, so at the very end, when you're chosen, you get to teach 12 songs to any of the team that wants to come and ride with you. They videotape it. They send it to corporate. And corporate, I mean, we have a lot of studios in this franchise, a lot. And I will say, I feel very confident saying that we are always in the top 3. Little Idaho. We have.
Is that right?
They're even opening a studio in Japan. Like, it's everywhere. Wow. And we're in the top 3. Little Idaho. And everyone. Oh, well, I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, filming the video for corporate. Looking back, I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, I won't watch that again. But at that time, I just had this like immense like gratitude for the process, gratitude for my body that I could do it, and just gratitude for all the time and energy that the studio had given to me. I just felt like it was a wonderful way to finish my journey, and then I just kind of had to wait for corporate to come back and say they wanted me or not.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wow. Well, that's kind of cool to know that here you were at the back of the class, hiding, I guess, in the back.
Totally hiding.
To like working your way up. Because I feel like if people knew that, and maybe they do when they come to your class, like, hey, I was back row, I see you. That's where I start. You know, like, I don't know.
Yes, I was on bike 38. I still remember it's my favorite bike. We have 50 bikes in the studio. Okay. And it's all tiered. So
is it? Okay.
You really can't hide. And that's for good reason, because I think everyone should be seen. Like, you should be able to see yourself in the mirror, but you should be seen. You are taking 45 minutes out of your life to be there. That is something to be recognized and something that should be celebrated. You might be having a really terrible, awful day, but it's a wonderful opportunity to walk into those doors, shut everything out, and just concentrate on you. There isn't much in this world or much in this day that you have an opportunity just to concentrate on you. I think we're pushed and pulled in so many directions. And I remember feeling uncomfortable sometimes being in the studio, realizing, like, you know, I am a mother that is a smother. My son could probably tell you. I truly, like, my one true love is my family. And I did feel uncomfortable at sometimes spending time for myself, but I've come to realize, because I'm spending time for myself, I can give to others. And so to put that guilt aside and spend time on you is just a wonderful gift. So everyone should be seen, I think, in that studio.
Yeah, and I think people have that desire. They want to go to a place that they feel loved and not judged, because there's a lot of people out there. You probably see them more on a regular basis than I do, but people who are trying to make a commitment, they've started something and it didn't work out. So now they're coming. I mean, can you think of anyone or a story where someone really, I mean, you had a life transformation, but is there anyone else that comes to mind that you're just like, oh my gosh, this person it changed their life?
I have a few. Okay. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking of it. Well, it's interesting. So this summer, let me preface by each month we're given an opportunity to provide a theme ride. Now that theme could be like 80s versus 90s or cool. Hip hop versus pop. Well, I did a Taylor Swift Eras ride. And I'm going to totally like out myself. Okay. I wasn't a Swiftie. before deciding to do this theme ride. I wasn't a Swiftie, but I realized that there were so many people in the community that were. There had to be something special about being a Swiftie. So I did everything. Like, I watched the documentaries. I listened to podcasts. I, of course, started listening more to her music. I downloaded TikTok. Like, I just wanted to find everything. And there was one writer in particular that is a Swiftie, like, through and through. There's several, but there's one in mind I can think of. And she had asked if I could play this 10-minute song. And in the format for Cyclebar, you have to be within 44 minutes, and you have to fit 12 songs in that 44 minutes. Like, I try to make it 45. And there's lots of technical things with that. But 10 minutes, that would take up 3.5 songs. And so my thought process was I wanted to give this opportunity to her, and I wanted to celebrate in it as well. So I asked her, would you mind coming to the studio before our class, and we'll just ride to that song together. And I had never listened to this song. I'm embarrassed to even admit, but I had never listened to the song, but I knew it was important to her. So I listened to this song a little bit beforehand, and then when we were in the studio together, I turned out all the lights. I guess I should have prefaced, when you go to a Cyclebar ride, it is a concert. We have lights. It's loud. Really? We can turn it black. We can turn it red. We have party lights, and it's all disco crazy. Cool. Sometimes I'll bring in my disco lights. Anyway, so I turned the lights down. I asked her, do you want red lights? Do you want black lights? And I think we had red lights at the time. And I rode next to her, which typically we don't ride next to our riders as we're in class. And just listening to the lyrics of this song and riding next to this rider, and she's like belting out the words. And it was a song about how Taylor Swift was like taken advantage of as a very young girl. And let me just preface, I don't know what this writer was going through at the time. I just knew that the song was important to her. And riding next to her and listening to her belt out the music, that was life-changing for me. And after getting off the bike, we hugged, and she's like, that was the best therapy session I've ever had.
Oh, my word.
And to think, like, she changed just from like 10 minutes of being on the bike. And she was a very, very experienced rider. She's been going for a while. So that's one that just came to my mind. And then I had another rider who started coming with her sister-in-law, and then her sister-in-law decided that Cyclebar wasn't for her, and that's totally fine. But she continued to come, and she started coming because she was borderline diabetic, and she didn't realize she was until she obviously went to her like annual exam. And the doctor was like, you need to maybe change something in your lifestyle. She continued to go to Cyclebar, and within 6 months her levels had changed completely, and she was no longer borderline diabetic.
Is that right?
And I just rode with her yesterday.
Oh, my
and
word.
I still think of that every day, thinking,
how awesome.
Your body is changing on the inside and you just don't even know it.
That's important, because people, they want that outside change
all
so
the time.
Fast. I mean, we all do.
And that's one thing that I love about Cyclebar is we never talk about weight. We never talk about calories. We do have a leaderboard, so almost every ride we race each other, and it's all about power. It's nothing about anything else. But on the leaderboard, it has an option for calories, and we just wish we could take that off, because that is nothing that we ever concentrate on. That is not. It's wonderful if you're going in there with a goal in mind. That's your own individual goal. That's not our goal for you, is to be burning calories, or like the whole concept of like you're sweating out your calories, you're burning your fat through your sweat. No, that is far, far from what we are ever wanting to to impress upon our riders at all.
Mm-hmm.
What we want them to do is to come in and sweat because you are enjoying a very fun activity and you're involved in a community that is forever giving.
Do you guys, does Cyclebar here in Meridian get out into the community and do rides outside? I mean, I guess.
Yes.
What do you guys do?
Yes. We do several things. First, we also do Cyclebar give rides. So not necessarily getting out into the public, but we're also giving back to the public.
Okay.
So we have Cyclebar give rides all the time where all the proceeds will go to a benefit or to a team, or we just collaborated with Boise State with Feed the Funnel, and so we raised enough money to offer thousands of meals for those in our community.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool.
During the summer, we have rides on the green out at the village. On the green area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, where they have concerts or it's turned to ice, the ice skating rink. Yeah, we do it outside, and those are fun. They're always themed, like pool party theme or country bash. So fun. And then another one we do outside is for child abuse awareness with Kiki Love, the DJ and realtor locally. When he was a DJ, he would do like a 24 to 48 hour continuous ride. And it started about 7 years ago when Cyclebar started at the village. And we had maybe 12 bikes out there, and the way that the radio station would continue was through the power of the bikes. So someone always had to be on the bike at all hours. So it's changed after the years. And this year it was in May, and Kiki Love was still out there, and Proud Source Water, who also is a rider, their family are riders, and we love them at Cyclebar. They sponsored the water, and people brought in food, and I had an opportunity on Cinco de Mayo to teach a ride. It was crazy. So it was like a Britney Spears moment. So it was really bad weather. It was windy. Something was wrong electronically. So I had to teach the ride while holding a microphone.
Oh my gosh.
And out of the saddle, like one hand on the handlebar. We always instruct there's always two hands on the handlebar. Well, I broke the rules altogether and had the microphone in one hand, holding, yelling, because the microphone isn't as loud as like a headpiece. We had a rider come in a sombrero. And
no way.
Yes, Jerry. She's our favorite. She's ridden like almost 1,000 rides. Actually, she probably is at 1,000 now. But you dress up, you come, and because it was our community and because we love to give back, especially for something as important as childhood awareness, the bikes were filled, and they did not care that I looked like an uncomfortable woman up there with a microphone in hand.
Man, that's so amazing. I love the community involvement that Cyclebar has here in Meridian. I love that you guys are giving back. For someone who maybe doesn't know or has never been to a Cyclebar class, like, what's the attire like? What do they at what point do you transition into spandex?
I say just jump right in. I will say that we have everything, including attire there. I mean, you don't have to worry about bringing shoes. You don't even have to worry about bringing a water bottle, deodorant. We have it all there. I'd recommend wearing something a little tighter for your pants or shorts, just because fabric kind of gets in the way. You don't have to worry about shoes. We got those for you. If you are a person that sweats like me, I always wear a tank top, always. Some women wear sports bras. I mean, really, you can wear whatever you want. I think I've even had someone ride in, actually, I've ridden in jeans. There was like a denim for it was, I think, domestic violence, like denim day. We had a denim day and wore jeans. Yeah. That's cool. But I've had people come from out of state and they didn't have their workout attire, so they just wore their khakis. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I did have a girl this summer. She rode in her swimsuit.
Oh.
She had just gotten off floating the river.
Oh, how cool.
And she had signed up the day before, and she's like, I'm not going to miss my ride. Thankfully, she had cover-up shorts, because I don't know what was on the bottom, Anyway, but she rode in her swimsuit. So really, and you're never ever judged with what you're wearing or what you're not wearing.
So someone who's listening to this right now, they're like, okay, they're getting excited. They want to like, maybe should they call ahead and just say, hey, this is my first ride. I just heard the podcast. Or
Sure.
what's the best way for someone who has never done this before to like just start? Or like,
Yes.
do you have to give the instructor a heads up that, hey, I'm new, I don't know?
No, we know so much.
Okay.
So much. So yes, I'd recommend giving a call. The girls that answer the phone are the sweetest, and sometimes the phones aren't being answered because there's a class in session and they're helping a new rider. But it is always nice to call and say, I'm going to be coming. We have plenty of options for time to come. So
Okay.
that'd give them an option, morning, night. And then we would probably just set you up with your first time. And if you are a Go Idaho podcast listener, we are giving a first ride for free.
No way.
Yes.
What?
Yes. So if you would DM us at
Yeah.
Cyclebar Village Meridian on Instagram, say, hey, I listened to the Go Idaho podcast. I'd like to
Wow.
come ride. Then we'd give you a free ride. And really, from the moment you walk in the doors, you have nothing to worry about. You are like basically taken from step to step to step.
Really?
Checked in. We know if you sign up a day before, 2 days before, really a day before is all you need. We know the day before that you're coming. We know that you're a new rider. You'll be greeted with fanfare, really. I mean, lots. We celebrate new riders and milestones like it's no tomorrow. So really, they would just call, say, I'd like to come ride, and pick a time to come and show up 15 minutes before the ride.
Okay.
That's always a nice common courtesy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be rushed through it.
Yeah. So what time is the very first class and what time is the last class of the day?
5:45 in the morning,
AM, okay.
AM. And then we sometimes have a 7 a.m. class depending on the day, 9:45 a.m. That's when I teach.
Okay.
Wednesday and Thursday,
9:45. Wednesday and
9:45,
Thursday.
yes.
You get Rebecca.
Yeah. And then in the afternoon, 4:30, 5:45, and 7.
So 7 o'clock is
the
last.
latest,
That's the last
yes.
call. Okay.
We are in the village, so
Yeah.
we are open as long as the village is open. We're always open. There's always someone there. So if you're walking around the village and want a tour, if there isn't a class going on, you can take a tour. Some people just like to see their surroundings before
Yeah.
coming in and taking the class. By all means, just come in and take a tour.
And get going.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the best number to call ahead? What number do they call? Or do you... Maybe not. If not,
I have
it's
it right here.
Oh, okay.
I can look it
Or
up.
like a website we can plug or something.
Yes. Well, Cyclebar Village Meridian.
All right. So if someone's like, oh my gosh, this sounds so cool. Like, I just want to call them right now. What's the best number to call them at?
208-898-7433.
Okay. And then website?
Cyclebar Village Meridian.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Instagram.
Yeah, I was
We're
gonna say.
very, very, very up to date with our Instagram and social media. We're constantly posting and constantly answering
Checking
DMs.
messages.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cyclebar Village Meridian. And let them know that they listen to the podcast.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Thank the owners. I mean, that's
Oh,
coming from
they
them,
are
right?
the best. They are the best.
Very cool.
Yep. They've been the same owner since the beginning.
Is
and
that
that
right?
is really unheard of. I think in this business world, but also in a franchise and then with Cyclebar. From the beginning. 7 years.
Wow, that is a long time.
I know.
That's great,
And they're
though.
very involved. In fact, one of the husbands still instructs.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they have 2 children and they still make it happen.
Wow. Okay, so we were just talking off camera a little bit about, the classes. And so 7 to 7, but you have 30-minute rides, you have 45-minute rides, and you
Yes.
have the big dog.
Yeah. Power Hour.
Power Hour.
Power Hour.
That's a long
Saturday
time.
morning. I know. It goes really fast.
Does it?
It does, yeah. And the 30-minute ride, I mean, it's a blinking over, really.
Man. So so you go Wednesday, Thursdays at what time?
9:45.
9:45.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is just, I'm curious.
Yeah.
How do you ever, like, when it's up in the saddle, do you ever
Yeah.
just stop pedaling to catch your breath?
Do I?
Yeah.
No. Because I don't know about the other instructors.
No,
I assume it's the same, but I'm working just as hard
You're-
as they
yeah.
are. Yeah.
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 Okay.
No. There have been times that I've wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not fair for me to do that if they can't do it.
I know, because, like, sometimes if, like, you go to a fitness class, like, the person will just stop and just, like, talk, you know?
Yes.
And you're just like, wait a second, I'm supposed to...
Yes.
Don't stop. But
Yes. Yes. Some instructors get off and they're like in your face, like,
What?
run faster.
Oh,
In the
yeah,
best
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Run faster.
yeah.
Climb that hill.
Yeah.
That I love.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that just to catch their breath. They're doing that to really get you pumped up.
Motivated.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what would you say is the overall theme of Cyclebar?
Ooh, okay. For the last 7 years, I'd say we have been making fitness fun and changing lives, including
That's
my
it.
own. Really.
And that's it
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. My life is forever changed. Truly forever changed.
And relationships, friendships. I mean,
We have season tickets to the Boise State football game because my son is in the band.
oh.
Yes. and at the last football game, it was incredible. Like, I became teary-eyed, of course, watching my son play, and then thinking at the tailgate, trying to find our seats, getting food. I ran in, going to the bathroom. I took a bathroom selfie with a rider. Seriously, I felt so grateful. If it wasn't for Cyclebar, I wouldn't have had all those people there that day. And you know what? I would say out of the 7 people that I saw from the Cyclebar community, 6 of them were like, I'm looking for your son.
No
Like,
way.
yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Because during my ride, like, it's a catch up with the riders that I see twice a week. So they know all about my life. They know all about the changes in our family. They know about my mom and her new husband. I mean, they've met them. My husband. Oh, one other thing I'll have to tell you that was very special. Anyway, I just felt so grateful that there were 6 people out there that I had met from Cyclebar, but then they were also watching out for my son. That was just inspiring. My youngest brother has autism, and he comes to the classes too, and has made a wonderful impression on me, but hopefully on our riders. And when he hasn't shown up in a month or so because he's on vacation or he's other places, riders will come up to me and ask, where's your brother? I haven't seen him for a while. And that is more than you could ever ask for. I mean, these people aren't just people that I teach, like quote unquote teach. These are people that have become my family away from family, and they care about me just as much as I care about them.
That's so cool. You know, because initially you think, oh, I don't cycle. I can't do,
Yes.
you know, and your husband's was a semi-pro rider,
Yeah.
so I'm sure maybe he's more into that competition board. Or,
Yes.
you know,
So
when
is
you go,
my mom.
and
She's the worst. She's all about the numbers. Yeah, no, but
but it's for everyone.
it is for everyone. Everyone. We have a board. Every milestone you get, 50, 100, 250, and 500, and then 1,000 rides. And I have to put a plug in for those 1,000 riders, 1,000 riders, not to throw them under the bus at all, but to give them the accolades they deserve. I would say a good majority of them are well over 50 and 60
Is that
years old.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how inspiring is that for me and everyone else in that community? Because we do have college girls, we have high school athletes that come on their off season to train. And then we have these wonderful men and women who are of retirement ages, and they are wanting to be there to create a healthy lifestyle so then they can be there for their grandchildren or even great-grandchildren.
Awesome.
Inspiring
That
is like the word that comes.
You know, so many people have moved here. They left friends and family from other states.
Yes.
This is an instant community you could join and have friendships that last beyond just a neighbor bringing over a loaf of bread or something.
No kidding. You know? Why not say, come to a fitness class with me? I would say a majority of our riders have told me that I wouldn't have made this many friends this quickly if it wasn't for this community. And how wonderful is that to hear? Because that's all I want to do, is to create an atmosphere that people want to come to, want to stay afterwards and chat and give each other sweaty hugs. That's my favorite. And create a friendship outside of our small little studio. I mean, that's more than I could ever ask for.
That's so cool. Rebecca, thanks so much for jumping on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Cyclebar, for the generous offer to the Go Idaho listeners.
Yes,
and
please.
Hop over Village at Meridian Cyclebar. Rebecca's there Wednesday, Thursday rides.
Yes.
And get a tour. Check it out, but DM them and let them know that, hey, you're ready for a life change. You're ready to get in there and make some life choices. We got the holidays coming up, so it might be a good time to get jump start on all that.
Yes, we don't even care about that. We just care about you feeling good and maybe listening to some good music.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.